So how many of you out there who are beginner traders looking for maybe a strategy that's going to help you profit in the market? You have to understand consistency is and should be your number one goal outside of learning the correct way and educating yourself, on how to trade, market structure, price action. I'm going to share with you a strategy that works. I'm going to show you a couple examples here. I've been trading the same strategy I've been trading about 15 years. So I've actually been trading the strategy for 13 years. I will say this now. My 2 years into trading, I had some rocky roads up and down like most traders. I would be trading in profit, lose my profits, trade back and forth, But I didn't lose great amounts of money because I did not have a lot of money to actually invest into the market or put in my brokerage account, all right? So I was trading with small amounts, and then when I started to take small losses, that's when I actually stopped. And so I could figure out something or find out what was my issue when it came to actually trading, which was, for me, it was all about not being able to read the markets the correct way and understanding, market structure, okay? It wasn't until then, that's when things started to click, the light turned on. And then from there, it was all about devising a strategy in which could work for me, all right? So I use top-down analysis using higher range and then lower range charts. And I want to say this right now. If you're someone out there who has $500 to $1,000 and you're looking to, open or deposit that money into your brokerage account, I would hold off from doing so. I mean, you could go ahead and apply for with the application with a broker to go ahead, a futures broker, to open your account up. But what I want to say is, or to see if you can get one, they will allow you to open one or not. But what I'm trying to say is this right here. And there's a variety of different brokers out there, guys. You got Ninja Trader that offers their brokerage and services, AMP Futures, TraderVate. What do you have? Interactive Brokers. Just do your homework. Go on to Google and research that. You'll find a list. Go on there and type in future brokers or brokers for trading futures, and you'll find a list of regulated brokers that you can trade with. Make sure they're regulated, okay? Most of them, I'm pretty sure, are here in the United States. But anyways, I'm going to show you one of the greatest strategies and it's simple, just using top-down analysis to be able to help you make, profit in the market. Now, I will say this, and I've done videos on this in the past. If you have, say, for example, $500, how to turn that to $5,000. I actually did a couple videos talking about how to grow small size accounts just using what's called the 5% rule, all right? And I talk about that in a lot of videos, just simply not over leveraging your account size, meaning at a max of only, for each trade, leveraging only 5% of your account, small amount, okay? And looking for, either a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 setup, and then basically compounding, because that is the key to for all beginner traders is compounding. Now, what you need to understand first and foremost is the direction of the market. Get that correct, okay? And that's all tied to market structure. If we're bullish to the upside, look for longs. If we're bearish to the downside, look for shorts. That constantly means, or what that means is, are we breaking structure higher constantly, or are we breaking structure lower? We were breaking structure higher here. So I would only be looking for pullbacks to mark up first and foremost my higher base charts based on centered around the structure of the market being bullish. Now, if we start to move lower, we're making lows, lower highs, and breaking structure below these lows to the left, then that goes from the tide changes from being bullish back to bearish, okay? Now, but it could change any moment. You have to understand that the market could push up, have a nice pullback, switch from bullish to bearish, and then be back to positive on the bearish side, within a matter of time, okay? So we were bullish, bearish, and then we started breaking structure to the upside. Now, we have a major high and a major low right here. You have to understand that when you're in between a major high and major low, and then start to break back higher, highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, then you're back bullish to the upside, but always keeping in mind, or out on a further distance out, looking out, where is your major high? Where is your major low? Okay, because this is the middle of this leg right here. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you cannot look for opportunity to trade, going to the upside if we've shifted from bearish back to bullish. Market structure. Okay, I covered in market structure videos in the past. I did a great breakdown, a real good detailed breakdown for the elite or the ultra elite supporters. If you're interested in joining that, I will talk about that towards the end of the video here because it's very inexpensive. But that's where I really go into the cornerstone and blueprint to how I actually trade, breaking down setup after setup after setup, showing you in great detail, as if you're sitting right next to me, these setups, okay, that I take and I post over in the Discord. I break them down using the strategy, using market structure, talking about price action. What was the thought process? Where to place a stop loss, where to take profit at, in reference to a TP. You have to understand these things as far as what to look for to know how to take these trades. And that's where I go into great depth. And that's why those who are part of the elite or the ultra elite supporter group, they are, I say, more advanced, or they are, a lot of them have past evaluations or challenges with prop firms. Some of them have funded their own accounts. Some of them have come and gone, but they're successful now. They're making money or on their approach to ascend, to start to make money and become profitable, right? It does take time. Now, I will say this right now. Right here, we have a bullish direction to the upside, right? So what you want to do first and foremost is figure out the direction, the tide. Which way is it moving? Is it moving up or down, okay? When we are moving to the upside here, you should only be looking for pullbacks to key areas of demand. This is a valid demand zone right here. A demand zone is where we have highs, higher lows, and breaking structure higher, okay? And then it pulls back to a high probability area where aggressive buying came out to push that market higher, okay? Highs, higher lows, more aggressive buying. All these aggressive bullish candles, that's aggressive buying. There's a high probability demand zone. The market didn't pull back to it. So you want to mark up an area where the market does come back and pull back to a key area of demand. High, higher low, breaking more structure, and creates this right here. Breaks right here, pulls back, and then we have another push to the upside, creating this demand zone, aggressive buying. This is a high probability zone, okay? I talk about low probability versus high probability. Please go to the homepage, type in low probability versus high probability or whatever on the homepage using the magnifying glass, and you'll find a video talking about, the difference of the two, okay? Now, once you have the direction right, once you've marked off your zone with a demand or supply zone, this case here is demand, I mark it up on my higher range chart. So whatever you're using for your higher charts, using top-down analysis, it can be time-based charts. Start with the higher chart and figure out the direction, and then mark your first zone from the higher chart, okay? For me, I'm using range charts, so I'm marking it from my 120 range chart. Once I have my zone marked up, then that's when I move down to a lower chart, my 24 range chart, to find and catch a setup. Looking for a demand setup, just like I did look for here on the higher range chart, a demand setup as well. Okay, so let's move down to the 24 range. This is my lower range chart. This is my entry chart. Now, this zone right here is the same zone you see, sorry about that, marked up on my higher range chart right here. Okay, pull back to this area here right at 24,000. I believe it was 35, 33, 34, somewhere around there. All right, and this is from September the 7th. Okay, just to show you an example. The market's pushing, we're traced back to the zone. Okay. We're bullish already. We're traced back to the larger box, which is that 120 range, my higher range or higher chart zone. Once it taps into it, okay, I am looking for a demand setup either on the inside or where a demand setup is created once it taps the higher range zone. In this case here, I have what's called multi-chart confluence. Confluence is important because the more confluence you have on your side, the greater the chance the trade is going to work out in your favor. Pulls back to the higher range zone, the larger box. Then at that point, I'm looking forward to see, okay, is there a 24 range demand zone on the inside of the higher range zone? Yes, right here. Okay. All right. The market made a high, higher low, and broke structure higher, creating this beautiful area of demand right here, and it left behind this high probability demand setup. So we have a higher range demand zone, a lower range demand zone. At that point, I'm just looking for rejection to take the trade going long because my bias is long because the structure of the market is telling me to go long, okay? Pulls back to this area. At the first candle break, that's going to be more aggressive. You can look for more momentum with a second candle break to the upside right here at 24,042. And what we're looking for is the market to do what? Is to push higher and run this high. I'm back on the higher chart right here above 24,086, which is right above this area right here, 86, 87, 86, okay? It comes back to it, and look what it does. It goes right up to the upside there and takes out and breaks above the area. Now, of course, you're going to have those ebbs and flows where the market's making highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, highs. It's going to push and pull before it's going to take out what it needs to, which is this high right here that it just came off of, looking at the higher range chart right here. So we have the confluence there, this nice setup right here. I'm going to put this in yellow just to denote that it is actually a 24 range demand zone. So multi-chart confluence, and we also have more confluence as well. What do I mean? Well, look we're here. If you know anything about hitting pivot levels, especially on the S&P 500, even the S&P 500, or the Nasdaq futures, 40, 70. When it comes to the NDC, the 40, 70 levels are hidden pivot levels. Probably didn't know that. As well as maybe as well as the 50 and the or half and round numbers as well. Okay, I talked about 40 and 70 numbers as well as the round numbers as well. But we have confluence there. I also like to use my volume profile to look, okay, well, when this thing pulled back to a demand zone here, the high probability setup, was it at a high volume area or did it dip below a high volume area? Okay, here we dipped below the high volume area right there into a low volume area. The market loves to reject out of low volume areas and test back up a high volume area. So there's multiple means of confluence, and that's what you want to look for. But always start, number one, get the direction correct, bullish or bearish, okay? Then mark up on your higher charts, whether you have a demand or supply zone that is in the direction of the higher chart, okay? Then once you have that marked up, go ahead and move down to your lower range chart, all right, and start to look for on the lower range chart or lower chart that you may be using a setup on the inside of that zone. Now, let's say there wasn't a setup on the inside of the zone here. Then what I would do is just wait, is tap the higher range zone right here. I would wait for it to show me where it's breaking structure to the upside, bullish in the direction coming off of the higher range demand zone. High, higher, low, push higher, come back, test a newly formed area of demand to take it in the direction with overall the higher range chart. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, guys. Now, if you're interested in becoming an elite or an ultra elite supporter of the group, there's a link down below. It's titled Ultra Elite Supporter. Once you see that and click on it, give it a couple seconds, you're going to see a few tiers pop up. Choose either the elite or the ultra elite tier. With the elite tier, you receive all my trade breakdown videos where I go in great depth about not only about the setups, the strategy, structure the market, the full on 9, okay, all 9, okay. So what I want to say from there is you also receive not only that, but the video playlist, okay, and a great video surrounding market structure for anyone is kind of struggling with that concept. All right, I make a lot of video content because I want to try to I want people to become educated, but I want them to educate themselves by watching the video content. I'm not here to spoon feed people and hold your hand and provide a trading course and mentorship. I provide the video content, which is all the educational components in my books of what I use personally that has helped me become successful. So maybe to help you. So that's why I started this channel, is trying to pass along the information that I know to other individuals. So if you want to become an elite member, again, the link is down below. It's titled Ultra Elite Supporter. Click on that. You'll see 2 tiers pop up. Choose the elite tier to receive what I just discussed, but you can also take it one step up and receive all my live recorded trading sessions, as well as everything I just discussed, the live recorded trading sessions, the video playlist, the market structure video, and the trade breakdown videos, okay? All that, okay? Once you click on it, you'll see the price there. It's like pennies on the dollar a day, guys. It's really inexpensive, but you receive so much great value if you choose to, all right? That's all I have for you guys. Seriously, that's all I have. I appreciate everyone that tunes in and watches the video each and every day. If you're not subscribed already and you haven't taken the time to sub, make sure to do so by clicking that subscribe button. Also, make sure to turn your post notifications on by clicking the bell as soon as you do that. And drop me a like on the video if you found some value in this video, okay? But go back and back test the strategy. Forward test it when the market's actually opened up and the market is live in sim and demolition. Now, I'm not saying demolition. In simulation and demo, test it then, okay? I'm not saying to in any way start off with a live account and start trading right out the box. You always want to test something before you use it, right? That's all I have, guys. I appreciate it. Take care, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next one.